Hello, welcome to Evolve Electric. We're at the New York Auto Show for 2022, and we're here with Indy and Andre Hudson, the lead designer. So this is not your first vehicle. Where have you been prior to coming to Indy?
Yeah, I've been doing this for about 25 years now. So I started at General Motors and then spent quite a long time at Hyundai.
Okay. So you've done some vehicles that we've seen on the street?
Yeah, I've been fortunate in my career. So at General Motors, one of my last projects was the Saturn Sky Roadster.
Oh, love that thing.
Yeah, that was a very fun project. And then when I went to Hyundai Motor, I was fortunate enough to have my theme selected for the 2011 Sonata, which was, I was able to travel the world and launch that car with Hyundai, which was great. And then work on various projects for the Genesis brand and the Palisade and the Nexo, which was the hydrogen car for them.
All right, so you've had some very successful vehicles. I'm sure you want this to be your next notch in your belt. So why did you join Indy, this new startup?
Yeah, this was for a designer. I guess it started his career in big OEMs. You know, it's been an amazing learning process to go to a small manufacturer where we start from scratch. You know, fundamentally everything. You know, we build our systems and the overall vehicle layout and format and feature set, you know, from the ground up, which is pretty amazing. You know, our team is really small, so we're able to make decisions fairly quickly and just decide this is the way we're going to go and this is how we're going to do it. So it's just been an amazing learning experience. It's fun trying to build something from the ground up.
Yeah. So I mean, I know I've heard a lot of designers talk about clean sheet design, and you really had this opportunity. But so what are some of the key things that you wanted to make sure you hit with this vehicle? What were your signatures?
So the fundamental thing with the Indy, our first product is called the Indy One, and what's fundamentally different about it is that we have integrated what we call a vehicle integrated computer, or the VIC as we refer to it. And the idea is that VIC that's at the heart of the car really defines how the vehicle looks and how the vehicle functions. A lot of people say, well, every car has a computer, but really what's different about this Indy One is that you do have the vehicle control computer, which every vehicle must have, and that's kind of a black box, right? They can't be tapped into and is secure. But running parallel to that is this Windows-based i7 chip, graphic card chipped computer at its core. And that computer allows us to bring in some amazing user experience and user content into the vehicle.
Okay, so this is going to be your proprietary system. This is not, you're not going to be building this to sell to other OEMs or anything.
Yeah, we are an OEM and have built the vehicle from scratch. So we've engineered the chassis systems. We've developed our battery in-house ourselves as well. And then, of course, the integration of how the user experience and the systems run parallel between these two digital systems in the car.
All right. So what are the key things you want to bring out with VIC that other manufacturers don't have that kind of set you guys apart?
Well, we're really bringing this VIC into the car, and again, keeping it isolated from the vehicle control systems allows us to allow the users or our future buyers to really treat that as their own private computer. They can configure it as they want, they can use it as they want. Being a Windows-based system, you can run any software that you're used to running, at home or office. So if you're a creative, you can run creative software on it. Video editing, when you're out and about. With the additional hardware that's built into the car, with the cameras and microphones, you essentially have a mobile digital media center. You can capture content real time with video and photo. You can edit that content. You can upload it real time to social media. So that's one aspect that's really exciting. Another aspect that we're really excited about, because our fundamental foundation is in online gaming and mobile technology. So we are creating some fantastic AAA game experiences through VR in the car that run through the VIC. That we're creating games that run in conjunction with the movement and motion of the car. So when you're in the VR gaming environment as a passenger, of course, not a driver, you're moving within the game, in the same movements that the vehicle's moving, which eliminates, the nausea that you would typically have. And everybody that's experienced that is, getting really excited about it. And you can actually experience that today downstairs. We're doing that demo when we're here at the New York show the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, I actually did test that out, and I was surprised how comfortable it was. And I didn't feel, I'm not generally motion sick, but it felt really natural. It felt like I was moving with the vehicle, going through the it was like a dinosaur park.
Yeah.
So that was really cool. And yeah, I would encourage anyone that comes to the New York Auto Show to go downstairs. They have the largest EV test track, and Indy's vehicles are real. They're actually running today, and you can get a ride with Indy. So let's look at the exterior styling on this vehicle. It's looks like a crossover. It's kind of the segment that everybody's kind of jumping into, crossovers and trucks. What do you guys see that you bring uniquely to this area?
Yeah, computer aside, as the fundamental of as an EV, it's kind of interesting. Design teams all around the world were kind of thinking a similar package. You know, it's a vehicle that is a bit higher. It has a higher roof. You sit about a bit higher. Your hip point, or where your hip sits in the seat, you know, is a bit higher, so that gives you a pretty nice, commanding view of your environment around you. It is considered a CUV, and we've engineered it around an adjustable air suspension. So we do have a low setting, which helps us improve our fuel economy when you're trying to do motorway miles. But you can also lift the vehicle, you know, in bad weather, snow and ice. When you need to have it in that setting, you can do that. And that's a really important thing. I was telling you earlier today, you know, I've seen the car here in the New York environment. Like, it seems like it really fits New York. You know, this idea that, again, you feel a bit protected from sitting in the car. You sit a little bit higher in traffic, so you can see what's going on around you, pedestrians and bikes and all that. And then the idea of the VIC, that vehicle integrated computer, some people will be able to take huge advantage of that functionality of having that computer in their car.
Yeah, and it's a good size. I mean, I drive a Altima right now, and it's a surprisingly long car, and this looks like it's probably even a smaller footprint, but you get more interior space.
Yeah, lengthwise, it slots. It's a little bit longer than a Tesla Model Y, for those of your viewers that know the Y. It is a wide car. Our vehicle, when you sit in it, it's super comfortable for the front occupants, and the rear occupants comfortably sits 3 across. It is a hatchback, which for me is a huge thing. I think finally Americans now, that's transitioned to the functionality of hatchbacks, not quite to wagons like Europe, but I think we're slowly working our way there. But yeah, as a daily use car, it's a fantastic product. Also, all of our body structures have been designed around a full open panoramic roof, so when you sit in the car, you really get this sense of space. The instrument panel is pushed really down. It's quite slim, and the windshield is quite far forward, which gives us really nice aero performance. But also, when you sit in the car, you know, you just have this huge sense of space, you know, more like you're sitting in the living room, truly.
Yeah, and I saw downstairs you guys have a fleet of colors coming in, but I've also seen some design cheating going on here with the black roof and the black under tray to make it look a lot sportier. Was that intentional, the two-tone?
Yeah, you got a good eye. Yeah, the package, like we just talked about, is quite tall and a little thick, and a lot of EVs, because you're packaging that battery below, you end up proportionally with a vehicle that's a bit taller. So by choice, you know, we did a graphic split to keep the color kind of through the midship of the car. Like you said, you know, you got a good eye, which does visually make it feel a little bit lighter than probably what the masses actually are.
All right, very cool. And yeah, the ride, it did feel nimble. Let's talk a little bit about the interior. Screens are the thing. You guys said you have VR in the back, which is pretty cool, and probably stop the kids from doing the, are we there yet? Are we there yet? So you have one screen in front of the driver, which does the general, you know, speed, navigation, but you have 2 large screens, one in front of the passenger and one center. What's the idea about those?
Yeah, so for the user interface, as you said, there's a 12-inch digital display in front of the driver, which is the basic vehicle functions, some of your driver assist features, obviously speed, and then your main interface for the driver. We actually have 2 side-by-side 15-inch displays. The central one is for driver only, for vehicle control systems, for your heating and air conditioning, access to the functionality of your obviously radio and audio-video interfaces. You have some access to the supercomputer through that screen as well. When you're in arrested park mode, maybe using the vehicle for some more productive elements, again, parked or on vacation or something, the driver can't have access to VIC, again, when stationary there for the Windows-based computer functions. And then the far right 15-inch display is for supercomputer access only for the front passenger. So that essentially looks like a standard desktop, or however you set that up. because really you'll be able to configure the use of that VIC however you want.
All right. Well, do you have keyboard, mouse access to that computer, or is it just touchscreen?
Yeah, you'll have access to whatever hardware you would like to use with the system. As you said, this week we're demonstrating the VR. We have wireless mouse and keyboard. We're also looking to do some development in AR as well as we move forward. So yeah, again, you can use that computer as a standard desktop if you choose.
All right. So I know this is probably not going to be available for some of the tech nerds. Would have, you said it's window based. Is it? Are you planning on making it upgradable, or even the people would be able to upgrade the chips, processors, memory?
Yeah, great question. So that is part of the whole idea, is that you'll be able to customize and tune that computer as you see fit. And that's going to be the really exciting thing about it. I remember I presented to some guys back in Los Angeles, and we were standing over the front of the car. And when your viewers actually see the car, when you look through the front hood, there's a window that you actually see that supercomputer, because we wanted to highlight it kind of like a supercar highlights their engine in the back, because we think the future metrics of performance is really processing power. But I was having this discussion with this guy, and he's like, we were just at this import car show and looking at these tuned vehicles, talking about what do you think the future of tuning is going to be? And they were like, it's probably going to be more on the digital side. Like, what can you tune digitally with your car? And that's exactly what we've done at Indy. So, as you said, the idea of being able to customize that hardware set to your needs, both with processing and graphic capabilities, is going to be a huge part of it.
Yeah.
Currently, as you see the car, it's fitted with an i7 chip.
Okay.
An RTX card, graphic card. So that's what we're running downstairs for the VR.
A pretty powerful computer. And yeah, I guess some people might be mad about the loss of the frunk. That seems to be the thing for electric vehicles. But yeah, that window for the supercomputer is kind of cool. It's like the Ferrari window in the back for the engine. Anything else in the interior that you want to highlight for this car? Or?
I think we talked about the panoramic roof.
Yeah.
The function of the seating is, again, it feels more like a large car when you sit in there. The functionality of the rear and hatch. We have developed a proprietary, what we call a click and lock system, which is going to be an assembly of fittings and hardware to allow you to configure the rear of the car as you see fit. We're actually working with partners now to develop a unique pet loft that we're calling an area for those people that have dogs and cats potentially, which is a little more difficult in the car, and also extreme sports and photographers. So we're working on these 3 special kit fittings for the back of the car.
Very cool. So would there be potential for captain chairs in the back? Because my kids, they hate sitting next to each other, and they hate the bench. They like
That's a good question, but this car, size-wise, for configuration, it would be a bit difficult to get the captain chairs in the second row.
Okay.
So that will stay a bench.
Okay. And so can we just get the basic specs? Everyone wants to know, price, mileage, battery size, charging speed.
The standard version of the Indy 1 will be offered with a 75 kilowatt-hour battery and a single axle, so 2-wheel rear-wheel drive setup in that vehicle, and no supercomputer. Will start at $45,000, and then fully loaded, as we've brought to the New York show, which is an all-wheel drive configuration, a 95 kilowatt-hour battery, which is good for at least 300-mile range, and fitted with the VIC and the hardware of microphones and onboard cameras as well, will top out at $69,000.
All right, very cool. Thanks, Andre. If it was up to my wife, we'd be taking one of these home. She said you got to check this car out when we were going through the list of vehicles at the auto show. So I'm going to follow you guys, see your success. Also, any investors out there, are you guys IPOing, anything like that? Any talks about?
Yeah, we're certainly moving forward in advancements this year, so keep a lookout for us. But we've been privately held and funded up until now.
All right. And just quick, that logo, did you design it? It's very cool.
Yes, I did. Our design team. So, trying to hark to that computer chip really at the core of what we were trying to do. And after a while, people can't see the Indy in there.
Yeah.
So, I feel it's a really iconic logo that people will certainly remember and recognize.
All right, so wish you guys the best.
Thank you so much.
Good luck. Yeah, thank you. Thanks again for watching. Please subscribe, comment, hit the notification bell, like and share to help our channel grow. And below you'll find links to our website, evolveelectric.org, our Twitter and Instagram